I do not see this problem being solved with guns and bullets. I do not see this problem being an army or a police problem. This problem is a political problem, regardless the party in power. I'm being general now. Our politicians need to grow up. 2017 Earth and politics on this planet has left ethnicity, religion, and party differences. We are like 2 centuries behind. It's not working anymore, and we are seeing it live. If nothing is done about these things, then you are not going to see it water down and even begin to manifest in what the law enforcement and military units can or cannot do. Law enforcement agencies will never walk out of...
The solutions you profile will stem from what you perceive to be the root of the crisis. You perceive politics to be at the heart of this. What precisely is political about this crisis?
Simple. Today, we have a situation where people are killing themselves. Being that they are killing themselves, we should be looking at what is the cause of the crisis. The cause of the crisis is ethnic. The cause of the crisis is social. I don't even see it as religious. For crying out loud, my ancestors were not even Muslims to start with. And the core Fulani man, the core Bororo man who stays in that jungle and does his cattle is an animist. If you ask the Fulanis, they will tell you. So basically, what do we see? We see politicians jump on these differences and exploit them to score goals. That is what is happening. Period. Now, where security is involved, there will be no politics. Politics must stay out of the business of law enforcement. Yes, if you break the laws of the Federal Republic, so be it. There is something the law has in store for you. Damocles is a blind woman. So where does politics come into law enforcement and security? The solutions, whatever they are, will never work. I promise you that, Maupe. Until our politicians grow up, we see what I call low-grade politics in this country, where people are selective about what is right and what is not right. 1 minute, the same thing happens in one place and it's given all the attention. Another minute, it happens somewhere else and no attention whatsoever. It doesn't work because Nigerians are not robots. Nigerians are thinking people. People who think, people who see. They have minds of their own. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is the problem is not ethnic. The problem is not religious. The problem is not even sociocultural, excuse me. It is what? Political. Don't forget, our ethnic antecedents, our sociocultural antecedents were there ever since when these same people lived peacefully. What changed? Politics. That's the eye of the needle. And until we thread it, we won't see any good results.
Tell us precisely. I mean, Captain, I think it's important for us to be able to hit the nail on the head this morning. What precisely are political actors doing that has led to the re-emergence of this crisis?
It's simple. Maupe, today in this country, if you are a student of political science, you're going to discover that our politicians have this very uncanny, very, very unruly indeed, I'm sorry to say, propensity to always identify our differences when they go seeking votes and not our similarities. Any local champion who wants popularity and a corridor to power will actually come and tell you why you are different from the other man and why we should actually carve our own Nikkei and have me as the leader. They don't actually tell us the things we have in common. Check it out. Go into history. Look at Nigerian politics, probably from '99. Now, what I'm simply telling you is that the religious differences you see, the cultural differences you see have always been there. And people lived together anyways. Today, we have politicians who are using these differences to score what you call political goals, to seek political capital. And unfortunately, when the worst comes about, the innocent citizens, those who really have no stake and no gain, are the cannon fodder. They exploit people's ignorance, they exploit people's poverty, they exploit people's sentiments to set people against people. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. So the solution to the problem is political. What Nigerians should be asking for now is for a leader or leaders who can put a solution on ground. If you don't have the solution, don't sell us platitudes. Just give way. Let another come in and give us that solution. If you tie it to that, you're going to see wonderful improvement. It happened in Borno. We all saw it. I mean, it's too recent to be forgotten. The problem raged and raged and raged.
Criminality at the bottom of this, the fact that criminals are going on rampage and they're not being called to order. You've talked about politics being the root cause of this from your own perspective. Do you then suggest that, or are you in tandem with those who say that at the end of the day, dialogue is the way to go to resolve the crisis?
Platitude. They've been dialoguing since as far back as I can remember. Dialogue, high-powered visits, just name it. Which one haven't we tried? It's not working. We don't need dialogue. We want results. Simple. And the template for results are already there. We have laws that are explicit about the things people can do and the things they cannot do. So what's happening? We have law enforcement agencies. They are enough to go around. In fact, they are so large we had enough to donate to Gambia. So what exactly are you saying? The head that leads the train is more than unwilling. I want to be proved wrong.
Well, Captain, we'll have to take a break at this moment. When we return, we will turn our attention to another security situation in the country. Do join us again. Retired Captain Umar Aliyu is still with us, and we have been talking about the crisis in southern Kaduna. But then let's turn our attention now. I also want to quickly get your perspective on what you think happened in Ran in Borno State. You've heard the story about how they've got information that there were some Boko Haram elements in that particular area, and there was an air raid on that particular community, which turned out to be civilians who were there. From your perspective, what do you think could have gone wrong?
That was tragic. It's what we call the blue on blue, where friendly forces bring fire to bear on friendly forces. It happens, it's very rare though, and the fact that it's very rare brings this one to fore. It's a matter of concern. What happened on that day could be a subject of so many possibilities, and I'm glad there is a board of inquiry sitting in this regard. For the average listener out there to understand my explanation, I'm going to be a bit layman in my words, let's say. An aircraft, particularly a fighter aircraft, is a military equipment that is built to precision. Built to precision means it's built to be as exacting, pinpoint exacting as possible. That aircraft runs on information systems that feed the armament, the communications, and the navigation aspect of the aircraft, basically. That aircraft is so fast, it moves probably at the speed of sound. That's about 1,195 kilometers per hour. And it's not humanly possible for a person flying that kind of device to do things manually. He will have to be aided by computers, the information system, so to say. It's difficult and rare for a pilot to miss his target. probably as difficult and rare as it is for a pilot to take off from Lagos on his way to Abuja and end up landing in Ghana. It rarely happens. The reason being the information systems guide the aircraft. So when aircrafts are being flown by pilots, be it fighter or commercial, it's not really like the experience you have when you are driving. The fighter pilot is virtually blind, if I can put it that way, or let me say physically blind. He has virtual eyes. From some 45,000 feet, there are aircrafts that even go 150,000 feet, fighter aircrafts. From that far, he cannot see the ground per se. And the equipments he fires or the equipments he carries have ranges. Some of them have ranges of 4 nautical miles. What that means is he can release it 4 nautical miles from the target and probably some 40,000 feet up there. And it's going to hone into that target to precision. So what went wrong? Possibly from my own perspective is the information system may have been faulty or may have been fed with erroneous information. Or even, if I may use computer language, a maintenance problem or a virus, whatever, could have caused that misinterpretation or error, and he's going on to place, to bring fire to bear on friendly forces. Now, I recall you saying something about elements of Boko Haram being seen around Ran. If intelligence has been precise, then it goes to say that the specifics of the cell of terrorists or the group of terrorists must have been acquired and fed into the information system of this aircraft. And regardless how proximate they are to the camp, if the right weapon was selected and the right coordinate was fed onto the information system, then the missile or the bomb will just do what it is told. It will go right in there. Now, be things as they are, the only way out of this quandary...
I'm afraid that we've completely run out of time on this particular question, and we will definitely have to have you back in subsequent days to, talk a bit more about, especially as findings come out on the bombings that happened in Ran. But we must thank you very much for coming on Sunrise Daily. That's where we'll wrap up the program today. Thank you so much, Captain Aliyu. He's a security consultant. Well, that's where we'll have to wrap up the program today. Thank you so much for being wonderful company, even in the time that we've had. I must thank you again. I'm Maokbe Ogun. See you next time.